Hey guys, this is Bernard. So, you probably already know by now, but I am doing one big painting for each month in 2026. Welcome to the first video where I'm going to be painting the piece I call No Limits of Nature. Now, in the voting polls, you guys chose the theme exotic, and there was actually quite a lot of votes. And in the dominant color vote, you guys chose that turquoise should be the dominant color. And turquoise is actually my favorite color because otherwise I wouldn't have painted my wall turquoise. I hope that you will have fun watching me sketch, ink, and paint the entire piece. And of course, there's gonna be a lot of fun effects. There is gonna be a lot of comments that I am gonna shout out because you guys are the best. So let's get started. So I got to sketching. What you are seeing here is me building up the piece slowly, little by little. While I was sketching, I had a horror game gameplay playing in my headphones for noise cancellation, but also to make it more relaxing. You can also really notice that I really take my time with the proportions. First, I make a circle for the mouth, then a raw placement to figure out the width of it, and then I make the actual mouth. Since it's really expensive watercolor paper, it's important to have a prep technique so you won't mess it up, cause it's not fun to waste good material. This creature is a human reptile, and he's the center of No Limits of Nature. And speaking of him, I move on to the rattling scales, taking inspo from rattlesnakes. I really take my time making these scales look good, as you can see here. I'm drawing every scale individually. It takes a while, but it is well worth the effort. Then I move on to the birdfish, and if you look at the top, this is one of the comments I got on my videos. Thank you so much for it. It means a lot. But anyway, this fish bird was really difficult to figure out, cause it's two completely different kind of animals, but in the end, I loved how it came out. I think I've been sketching for about a total of 6 hours now. And, well, I need inspiration really quick. Like, over here we have, like, I'm gonna do a vine, around the piece. And then we have a furry flower, we have a glass flower, and then we have a dragon fruit. And then over here, with the kiwi, then, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I'm gonna try to add a flower to this piece, even if it's gonna be the death of my piece. That turned out great! Who am I kidding? I can't draw flowers. I really need to learn that. But at least it didn't mess up my entire sketch. Okay, time to ink this sketch. As you can see, there were some details and things that I did not film for the sketching part, or else this video would have been 1 hour long. And I can't bring myself to edit such a long video. If I did, it would put me in literal mental agony, and I don't suffer for content. I'm only 16. But anyway, you might also have noticed this fella on the right. That's something I didn't record for the sketching either. I do regret it, but like I said, I stick to making videos under an hour. It's a bunny human. These 3 creatures that you see in this sketch, I've decided to name the following names of species: a Hutile, Bunman, and a Birch. The inking was definitely my favorite part so far. Painting is funnier, but between inking and sketching, I adore inking the most. And I think my favorite part was to ink the Birch scales and feathers. It took a long while, but oh hell was it worth it. Now here's some more comments you guys have given me. Thank you so much. Okay, so now that the inking is done, let's start painting. So what you're seeing here is the base layer. I'm not finishing each piece one at a time, and it would take forever. So with the scaled horn you see here, this is just the color you'll see the most. Then I move on to the vine, and for that I'm going green. I know I said turquoise would be the dominant color, but I want the vines to have a natural color, so I went with green, so it made sense. But as you can also see, I also used watercolor pencils to lay out my colors so that it doesn't take forever to blend and mix them all. Plus that I really wanted it to be really vibrant, and I wanted colors to pivot to different colors depending on where I was. So with the fish scales, I wanted it to be a rainbow colored, and I went with blue to yellow, and you'll see that through the piece. Then, for the Bunman, I wanted him to be bluish silver, and for that, I used watercolor pencils. It might look dark, but trust the process. For the Hutile, I wanted his face to be this vibrant purple to orange. And for his chest, we're going turquoise. Later on, I decided to finish the beak, since it wasn't really gonna be that complicated. It did take me an hour, but it was a relaxing hour. For the beak, I used some gouache. There's 4 mediums in this piece in total: watercolor, watercolor pencils, gouache, and colored pencils. And then there's me doing the background. But then, something really weird happened. Okay, so until now, it's actually going really good, and I am enjoying the painting. Wait. What's that? What's the thing I can hear? Wait, what? I have so many questions. What just happened? I don't know how, but when the art drop exploded, the kiwi, glass flower, dragon fruit, fir flower, and tulip colored themselves. How's this possible? Let's not think about that. Let's think about the details. This is where I do details and add attention and depth to this painting. I know it might sound insane, but I liked doing the scales on the hue tile more than the brush. Nah, I'm just kidding. The brush was better, not to mention more challenging. With the scales, you can kinda see what I did here. Added gouache dots to each scale, with the turquoise getting darker and darker. And then I moved on to the purple scales. And I think that the purple scales were the easiest so far. I mean, obviously. Okay guys, so I've been painting for I think 26 hours and the hue tile is done, and now I'm moving on to the final details of the birch and some fur to the bunman. So yeah, let's do the final details. Okay guys, this is the last step. We just need to sign this painting and then take the tape off and then it's done. So let's just get to it. And so, that is it, guys. That is it, guys. No Limits of Nature is now done. I think it took me about 27 hours to paint this painting, and I work around 2 hours to 3 hours per day, so it has almost taken me 2 weeks to paint this. It's been so relaxing, it's been so much fun, and I have really enjoyed making this video. For the outro, I'm just gonna say, stick around for the February painting. Remember to keep an eye on my voting polls so that you can inspire me for the February painting. Peace out, Ben Gang, and thanks for watching.